Hi guys, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's Wild About Watercolour. So today I'm going to do a painting of a superb fairy wren for you guys. These guys, they're found here in Australia and New Guinea. They're common across the southeastern parts of Australia and Tasmania. We have them here, I'm in Victoria. So yeah, we have them down here and they live in my garden beds at my front door. So they flit around and play and I can watch them in the windows, they're just gorgeous. I got these reference pictures off Pixabay though because they're so quick. It's really hard to get photos because they sort of jump here and there and everywhere. So I'm using a Pixabay reference. So the little males are really colourful. They have beautiful blue colouring. They've got little blue on the tops of their heads and their cheeks and a little bit of blue on their back and they're just beautiful. The little girl ones are grey. They live on insects and that kind of thing and they're just gorgeous to watch. So I'm just doing an incredibly quick drawing. So just popping just a basic outline of him. He's got a little tussock of feathers there on his bottom. Righto. So now we're drawing the branch. In the picture he's actually standing on rocks, but I'm not good at rocks, so we'll do a branch. So now I'm going in with cerulean blue and I'll do everywhere that he's going to have blue. So just a really thin mix, just like that. And I'm using my silver black velvet brushes and I'm painting with my sienna watercolours. And I drew him in with my Staedtler Mars Micro 0.5mm lead mechanical pencil. I'm painting in my Stillman and Byrne Zeta Series watercolour book, so I'll pop all the details where I get these in the description below for you guys. Whoops, had a miss. So now I've got to wet that and mop that out like that. So now I'm going in to all his dark spots because he's got a black mask. So I'm going in there now with warm sepia just to fill in everywhere that's going to be black. So I'm using a warm sepia because it's got obviously a bit of warmth to it. It's not just a flat matte black sort of colour. So now I'm everywhere that's going to be black, I'm using this warm sepia. So onto his back, and then little feathers that connect onto his tail and his little beak. Now I'm just getting a thinner wash of the sepia and I'm running that onto his little legs. Just a very thin wash, and I'll take that up onto his wings in a sec too. Just a wet thin wash like that, and then spread it out with a bit of a damp brush. Take that right down his wings on both sides. And now I'm getting a bit of Payne's grey and I'm going to go over the top of the sepia onto his back and darken that right up. And then again around his little eye, do his little feathers, top of his beak, and to take that right around, keeping a jaggedy edge everywhere that's black, so because feathers, he's got little edges of feathers and little flicky bits, so I try to keep the edges as sort of rough, I suppose, rough looking around the trim where the feathers join and the blue meets the black, so I don't have just straight lines like that, just to indicate that there's feathers. And take that around his little mask. Oh, got another spot, so I've got a wet brush and mop that out again and clean it up like that, nice and easy. And then again with the Payne's grey, I take that down onto the top of his wing because he does have quite a dark spot there. And then there's a few feathers on that bit there, so I take that now, I'm just going in with the Payne's grey and jaggeding up the bottom of that blue part and taking it down his back. And just darkening that right up, adding a bit more texture here and there. Oh, he's got little feathers on his tail there that connect to his back that are very dark, so just pop them in. And then add the trim onto his tail feathers. He's got little black edges to his tail feathers. Just like that. And now I put with Payne's Grey, pop the pupil in, being careful to leave the white in the centre of the reflection. And now I'm darkening up a bit more. So now I'll go back in to all these blue spots with stronger mix of cerulean blue and just dapple it so it's sort of like, has more of a feathery effect. And take it a little bit down his wing. I notice there's a spot there and a spot on his legs of cerulean, so pop that in. Now going with a little brownie mix to pop some definition on his wing feathers. Not a lot, just enough to suggest that there's feathers there. So I pop these little lines in and then I go back in with a damp brush and sort of smudge them out a bit so they're sort of just very faint, but you can see that they're feathers, or they're meant to be feathers. So don't go into too much detail, just keep it a suggestion of feathers. Just with this a bit of a brown mix and a little bit of sepia. Now I'll just define these backs of his little legs feathers with a little bit of Payne's Grey and then go up and darken his beak a fraction. Now I'm wetting the branch and I'm just dropping in a bit of raw sienna just while it's wet, and it'll run and it gives a natural sort of woody effect. And then I just pop in a little different mix of burnt umber, just a spot here or there and a little line and a bit of grey, and it just puts a bit of variation, and because it's wet it sort of takes it and spreads it out a little bit and it just gives a natural branch looking effect. Just like that. Now I go back in and just do some touch-ups on his beak. And just put in a bit of a stronger mix of the Payne's Grey to add feather texture on his darker spots. Now I do with, I'm using, what am I using? Caput mortem, that's it. So a bit of Caput mortem on his legs, and then I go back into his wing feathers and darken up the tips, just with a slightly darker grey, and take that into his legs. The other side. And define his wings. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had lots of fun doing it. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, I'd love you to click like. If you want to see more, I'd love you to subscribe. And if you click on the bell icon, that'll notify you when I've released more videos, which I try to do daily these days. Yeah, so I'm just doing the finishing touches. I shall just finish on his tail. And then I'm going to go a bit of white gouache on the bottom bit of his eye, just to replace where I touched it a bit with the black. And then go into his legs with a little bit of orange, just to strengthen those up a little. Pop my signature on. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next video. Okay. Bye.